sort of a sister video to this. We unboxed the Xtool compass, and we saw sort of what it feels like, its functionality, how it's been sent, how it packaged, how it feels, what it seems to be able to do. And yeah, it's nice. It's a little dongle thing. Its quality, blah 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 blah, and now we're testing it. So we're going to plug it into a few vehicles, some older vehicles, some very kind of funky vehicles like this classic Mini, and let's see what it can do. So we're now going to try plugging in the Xtool compass into the Peugeot 306 from the year 2000, and this is not a fashion contest, so ignore my boots, which are well worn, and my socks. Little dongly thing goes in to your OBD port, like thus. And you should get a little beep. Red light shows power, green is trying to connect to this tool, which is just on. We now know we're connected. So now we can use our nice stand piece, which fits over on the steering wheel, like thus. I don't know if that's what they intend it for, but it does kind of work quite nicely, really, doesn't it? So let's check out some of these functions. Let's do an auto scan to start with. We're actually going to use the function for screen recording, like so. And so we're going to show you some live screens for this at the same time. So let's auto scan. I've never actually used this tool yet, so I'm going to power up this. It's just doing a firmware update, which is great. Obviously on this tool, got a little blue flashing light, so I presume that means data is scanning, maybe, don't know, let's hope so. Let's see what happens. It's taking a while. Now, as I mentioned in the first video, with this car being a bit of a test for this scanner, because not all scanners will connect to these, despite them being OBD compliant. You can get Delphi to talk to it, and Autel and Snap-on, but I have tried some scanners before, and it won't connect. So let's find out. Let's see. If I'm honest, it's not a good start. Something scanning for this long is not really a very good sign. I want to be getting on with work, don't I? So I just have a jelly baby. You want a jelly baby? No? Okay. Right, let's I don't know how to stop it scanning. VIN wasn't recognised, I'm not putting a VIN in. So let's try and go in, see if we can find an auto scan via basic ISO. It's giving me different ISOs to try. Oh, it's auto scanning through them now. Okay, cool. You can see that. We are recording the screen, so I can just, of course, show you on that, couldn't I? It's trying all the different ISOs, which is good. I think interesting enough, when it screens, it's got a little microphone, so I think it's recording audio, which I'll find out later when I try and edit this video. It's not having much joy, I tell you. For me and my vehicles, it's a big thing if it can't find it. Ah, it has found it. It's found something. Okay, let's see if we can read the ECU information. It's not supported. Okay. See if we can find stored codes. We can. Interesting enough. Okay. So what I'd done prior is I had created a fault. I'd unplugged the MAF, which this actually drives better with the MAF unplugged, which tells you something about the MAF. But I'd unplugged it with the hope that this would pick up on a code, obviously. It hasn't done that. Interesting enough. So see what pending codes. Maybe it'll be under no pending codes. Okay. So we can only read the codes on this. We can probably clear it. See if it will clear it. Yep, it's cleared. We'll check stored codes. No core. None stored. None pending. What live data can we see? We should be able to see some live data. Yes, we can. Okay. I wonder what sort of data. We can see absolute position for the throttle. Okay, I wonder if we tick that. Record. Not getting anything from that, unfortunately. Okay, let's go back. Okay, so we have to stop the recording. Continue, pause. Okay, so we can do recording of, I don't know, press again to stop data recording. Press again to stop data recording. Chart. Column. Oh, we got a column, we got a graph. This is going to be better on a different vehicle. It's not picking up absolute throttle position, this. Which is interesting. So we've saved it. I don't really want to save it. I've saved it. But I can't exit without saving it. That's a bit annoying, isn't it? Let's see if it will start without being disconnected. As in, it will start and not disconnect. Okay, intake air temp's 215 degrees, but that's because map's disconnected, so that's accurate. We haven't got a map, but it's showing map. What if we've got throttle position now? I should plug in the mass airflow sensor and see if it's any different, I suppose. So it's pretty basic on this vehicle, but that's okay. It's picking up some data, coolant temp. It hasn't got a map sensor, which is interesting why it's giving me that data, but it's got RPM. It's got basic stuff, and I'm sure it would change intake air temp and MAF, obviously, if I plugged it in. Okay. Welcome back in the room. So, it might seem a little bit strange. I'm sat in a classic Mini, which is the very, very late MPIs I think you could plug into. I never tried. But this happens to have a 1 litre Ford EcoBoost engine in it from about 2014. So we should get a bit more data from that. So let's find out. Let's do an auto scan and see what we get. Yep, it's picked up that it's a Ford already, which is, well, not really true, but I mean, the heart of it is a Ford, I suppose. I don't know if you can see the dongle. The dongle is dongling down there. There it is. Very nice. Do you like my Mini? It's quite nice. Anyway, here we go. Oh, it says it's a 2015 actually. It's giving me a VIN plate, which is interesting. It tells me it's a 1 litre. It has gas being injected into it directly. Turbocharger, manual. It tells me its ignition system, type of fuel, protocols, etc. So that's quite cool. Right. Well, let's do an automatic scan, shall we? Oh, that's quite nice. We should be recording this. Yeah, start recording. Here we go. So it's not going to find much on this auto scan, but I love this. This is very nice. This is very cool. So it's going through the body modules, chassis modules, power units, and well, it's it's going to struggle a little bit because it hasn't got many of those modules anymore. But I like the format. Let's see if we can stop it. Pause, maybe? Yeah, we can pause. Good, okay, because we know it's not going to have a chassis module or any other units like that. So let's go to the DTC report and report details. Okay. I want to see DTC list. Here we go. So what issues has it got? It's got a coolant pump control circuit open. We know that. That's just because it doesn't exist. The AC, the pressure's low on the AC unit for the AC that doesn't exist. And it has a turbocharger boost control performance issue, which we do know, and that's something we need to fix. Okay, so that's good to know. Kind of knew those faults were coming up, so it's nice to know that, if that makes sense. It's actually doing what it should do. We'll clear those, shall we? See if it does that. With the Ford scan, you have to turn the ignition off and on again, so we'll see if it clears the DTCs without doing that. Oh no, it's crashed. That's a little bit inconvenient, isn't it? Little software glitch, maybe? That's a bit frustrating. Right, we'll pause the video, and when we get reconnected, we'll see what live data we get. Okay, well, this is quite interesting. So we do have obviously all the modules that this vehicle had originally. None of them I can actually get into. For instance, I'm going to try and connect to the driver's front door module, and it should just come up with a fault. Like, you know, it hasn't. It don't need a module. It just has a winder and a little button to open the door. Yes, okay, fair enough. It hasn't connected to that. We know that. But I wonder if we can do a bit more information. Yep. Programmable parameters, installation of programmable module. Ah, so we can write the odometer. That's interesting. Can it really do that? Seems a bit dodgy, doesn't it? The odometer. It might fail to do that because it hasn't technically got one. No, okay. So I think what we need to do, we're going to have a look at some live data, which would be nice. Is it under service? Powertrain. Test modes. Lots of vehicle information. Okay. Ignition counter. We've got some operation tests, which is interesting. What I'm sort of troubling to see here is I'd like to see live data. Just give me some live data. Some editing might allow us to see that. Let's see if we can find some live data. Okay, so we've got a run in, we've got some live data. We're recording the screen so I can show you some shots here, but I really like some of the features. So I can see the legend on the chart there. It's currently just showing one, which is the fuel rail pressure. I can see multiple axes, like that, and then I can go between them, so I can tick them on the fly, which is really nice. So let's just have air charge. Okay, stay in nothing. We'll have bank 1 camshaft position. Interesting, the degree of change there. Change the scale. Fuel rail pressure and multiple axes. So we can see the different axes of the different scales, and then we can record that. We can see it in chart form. It's nice. See it in column form. That's nice, yeah. Chart, we can see a normal graph. The only problem, and I probably can change it in the settings, is for me. There we go. I can change the scale of things there, which is nice. I wish we could change the scale a bit more, if I'm honest. Yeah, that would be cool. Multiple graphs, individual graphs, lots of customizability. Now I really do like that. Prefer the 2D graph. It's kind of what I'm used to. Different colours to see the plotting, and of course you could record that. If you're driving along, you're looking for a certain point, and you can save that, saved, and then you can look back at that later. So when you're driving, we can pick up the data and you can analyse it slower. It is quite hard watching live data in the moment, but recording it when something happens is really key. There we go. Oh, it just sounds so good, doesn't it? Anyway, she'll pop and bang, but you know. We don't want to kill some chickens. Okay, so we can pause that, I think. Go back. There we go. Cool, that's nice. Right, I think the final thing to check is we're going to find a much more modern vehicle which has all those modules installed and see how it copes with that. Alright, so we're in a more modern vehicle. I wouldn't say a really modern vehicle. It's modern by my standards, 2009 or something, I think this. But it's got some body modules from the Mini anyway. So we're going to connect. This is the Bacon Bus, by the way. If you haven't seen this, this is our Bacon Bus. This takes us on tours all over the country and other countries, and there's a bed in the back and all the rest of it. So let's see what it can do. I was worried the little dongle thing down here wouldn't fit, but it does just fit. So, you know, that's nice. So let's do a scan. Let's get this screen recording going. There we go. And do an auto scan, see what it does. Hopefully it works. haven't got all the time in the world, so hopefully it picks up something at some point. This probably would be quicker. I'm just curious about the autoscan, how effective it is. It is quite slow. Obviously I know the vehicle, so it probably would be a lot easier if I just inputted the vehicle data, like honestly. But we're trying to make it work hard for its money. Right, let's pause this and I'll come back when it's finished scanning. So it couldn't recognise the VIN for some reason. I could put that in manually, but I don't want to do that. So let's go into Peugeot. Okay, right. Let's go for a manual selection, as there's something different to do, I suppose. 807. I assume it's got canvas. There we go. System selection. The network signal's unstable. Don't know quite why it's right there. Network signal's unstable. Does it need, for some reason, internet connection? That would be a little bit annoying, if I'm honest. So we really want to apparently be connected to the internet. So yeah, we'll pause this, connect it somehow. It's a bit annoying, but it won't do it without the internet. But we'll see what. A little bit frustrating, if I'm honest. Even with it using 4G, it wouldn't do the CAN scan. Pre-post scan won't do any of that. So I've gone back to manual selection. So maybe the CAN isn't what I think it is. Don't know. But it's going through airbag, ECUs, instrument panels. We've got CD player, radio, alarm, door modules, air conditioning. I'll pause the video again, let it do its scan, and yeah, see what it does. Looks like we're getting no response from those systems, which is a bit frustrating. So we're going to cancel that. I don't see the point in doing that if it's not actually picking up on anything. And then we'll try the CAN scan again. Bit annoying that, really annoying. If we can just get into the engine communications manually. Obviously it's got airbag ECUs and modules. No, we won't communicate. Okay, so let's go back again. Let's try the CAN scan. Maybe I need to come out and go back in if I've got no internet connection. It shows at the top here that we've got connection. I'm going to show it on the live screen. So I don't know why I'm doing that, but it's got a connection to the internet and connection to the dongle thing. So let's go with automatic scan, see if it'll do it. It will. Right, here we go. Got more modules as well now. Whoa, loads more modules. Okay, well let's see if this picks up anything, shall we? Whoa. We'll definitely pause the video and get back to you. It's picking stuff up. It's got a malfunction in the injection system already. No light on, which is interesting. But it's going to take a while to get through all of that. So let's pause the video again and we'll come back to you in a moment. Yeah, as you'll see on the live screen I might put up here now, it's scanned all those areas. We've got a multi-system, got a few non-responses, which is not unusual, and a few faults. So it shows up as 4 different faults in different systems. So yeah, we can diagnose that. For instance, we go into engine management now. Click diagnose. See if it diagnoses it for me. Oh, I see, it goes straight into the process. Okay, so let's read the DTC. Now we know. Okay, so pre-post heating relay circuit. And it gives us a bit of information. It's a permanent fault. Characterization of the fault plugs never supplied. Cause local. Don't really know what that is. I suppose we could convert that into English, but that's fine. Okay, and if we go back, let's see the DTC list. See if it gives us the list. It does. So we've got a headlamp washer relay control fault. That's interesting. I kind of knew that because it never washes the headlights. Apparently an ECU fault with the anti-lock braking system. I've never plugged this in, by the way. I've had it a year. Fault in the speed information received by the CAN. Yeah, so occasionally it pings up that there's no speed sensors. Can't tell you if the tyres are going flat. Number plate fault. Front door sills lighting fault. I didn't even know it had front door sills. Fault in the headlamp wash control circuit in the fuse box. Interior rear right sensor fault. There we go. That parking assistance one is interesting because I've never been able to get the rear sensor to work properly. So it's picked up on quite a few things there that I'm quite pleased about. And of course from that, I think you could probably click on that, could we? Oh, I'm wondering if it would take us in there. It won't, but if we go back and then we go into, say, the AAS, apparently, we can hit diagnose, we can see live data. Oh, that's interesting. State of inputs. Okay, so we could play around with that. Special functions. Oh, pack spare part. Oh, we can change programming on the rear, the reversing sensors, which is cool. DSG, under inflation diagnosing. Let's read the DTC for that. The fault in the vehicle speed information received by the CAN from the ABS or ESP ECU. Oof, that sounds complicated. It's a permanent fault. Fair enough. Special functions. Can we see live data? We can force the valves to transmit the status, but there is no valve information on these, so that's interesting. Okay, well, there you go. That's how that works then. Okay, what can I tell you as a little review? I mean, I could sit here picking around this for ages, but this video is probably long enough as it is, so I'm going to stop picking apart this, and I'm going to have a little play myself. But yeah, this is great. This is lovely, easy function. You know, it's all touch screen, explains it as you go through. I can record it for later. I can see it clearly. The screen's nice. Yeah, it has to be connected to the internet for some functions, but that's not necessarily unusual. A bit of a fuss if you're struggling. You have to connect to your phone, which I've just done for 4G, but I quite like it. I've obviously not really scratched the surface on what it can do. Maybe we should try that. Should we go back to the original menu? We can save the codes. Let's go back again. Let's go back. Let's go back. Let's go back. Let's go to special functions and see what's available on this vehicle for the special function, shall we? I don't know. What could we do? It hasn't got AdBlue. Injector adaptation, AFR adaptation, gearbox adaptation, DPF regen. Oh, it probably could do a DPF regen. Not really sure. It would actually do a DPF regen. That's very nice. Glow plug reset. Oh, okay, so for certain vehicles it could do a glow plug reset. Priming, fuel pump priming, that could be quite handy. This vehicle can't do that, I know that. Very nice. Wow, there's so many functions that literally I'm a bit overwhelmed by it. So you could do all the resets on TCM, injector coding, headlights, ABS adaptation, tyre size resets, clutch adaptations, wow. This is cool. Railing light sensor adaptations, throttle adaptations. Brilliant. I'm well impressed. I love this gear. I love this sort of thing. I love these sort of tools. I play around with them for hours, not really accomplishing anything, just having fun with the systems on modern vehicles. I expect on even more modern vehicles. I mean, this is 16 years old now, a few years old, and you could do even more with them, programming and such, and getting the vehicle just as you want by all the little buttons in here. I'm quite impressed. I can't really complain about it at the moment. The real test of one of these devices is using it day in, day out for live data and recording stuff. But for what I've used it so far, for the 3 cars, I'm impressed that it connected to the old Peugeot EDC15. The Mini gave us lots of live data, which is very useful, and some codes, which I've not seen yet. And this, I'd never plugged it in. We got a few codes, and I kind of know that those codes work, are relevant, because I got no reversing sensors. The pressure sensors thing kind of pings up every now and again when you're driving. It says you can't tell you've got a flat tire, and yeah, I know the washers don't work, so we can use this now to investigate those further, follow the trail if you like, and find out. Apparently they're not getting maybe a fuse blown maybe for the washers, which is interesting. Rear sensor, right, so I can investigate that. And the tires, well, I kind of know that was a fault, but we can now use this to investigate further. So yeah, if you're in the market for a brand new diagnostic tool with a few years of free subscription, basically once you bought it and then registered, the Xtool Compass could just be the unit for you. Very nice.